5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, what up, everybody? Welcome to Cover Picks. I'm the Ninth Wonder, joined by Dark Evolution Comics, and we got a special guest in the house tonight, Mr. Tales from the Flip Side himself, Yeezy Yee. What's happening, brother?
Hey, not much. I've been saying it, but I guess I gotta start a calendar now with Mr. Tales from the Flip Side, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Dark, what's going on with you, brother? How did your new comic book day hunting go today?
It went pretty well. I got there pretty early, so I snapped up pretty much everything I wanted to. The exclusives or the ratios were a little crazy price, so I didn't grab any of those today.
Mm-hmm.
But pretty happy with what I grabbed today. It was a good day.
Yeah, same thing here, man. Ratios was out of control today. Man, I didn't really get a chance to snatch up any of the. I didn't get no Black Panther ratios. I could have bought a Thor ratio off of my comic shop, but I was like, man, I'm not paying $60 for that. And then the Black Panther, I didn't see that at any shops. But before we get too deep into it, I do want to remind y'all that we we always do giveaways here, and if I can get to the right screen, I can show y'all the giveaway for today. The giveaway today is going to be for Black Panther #3. This is the cover A. I'll be giving this away. We're going to switch it up and do it different. Anybody who's in the live chat, you will get one entry. After the video is done, if you leave a comment in the normal comments, you will get another entry. Anybody that watches this video late, if you leave a comment on the video and just let us know you checked the show out, I'll put your name on the wheel, and then we'll start spinning the wheel at the beginning of next week's show. So we'll just delay the giveaway by a week, just based on the fact that I know last show we had people come in late and things of that nature, and I want to make sure that everybody gets a shot, at the giveaway, especially if we're gonna be giving away, pretty hot books, because I definitely appreciate everybody that comes out every week to support the show. I'm not bending the book, man. You good? I'll press it for you before I send it to you. But yeah, you should be good on the book. The quality. I got about 20 of these, so I'll pick you out a 9A candidate for sure. Let's see. But all right, man. So let's go ahead. Let's bounce through the rules right quick. Yee, do you know the rules? Because I don't want you to get up here and we start this draft and you start acting a fool.
Well, I just know that what is it? That we have like is it 1 minute or 30 seconds to pick when it's our turn?
30 seconds.
30 seconds. Okay.
Yeah. And then the wild card. Since you the guest, let's see if you can come up with a wild card rule while I'm going over the normal rules. Let's see if you can come up with a wild card. And then once I go over the rules, we'll come back to and see what idea you have for a wild card. Let's see here. All right. No, that's not what I want. All right. So the FOC cutoff date for this show is going to be this coming up Sunday. Of course, Marvel does do their FOC on Mondays, but I say try to get everything in on Sunday. Only reason you should be ordering books on Monday is if we get like some late artwork in or something, and that kind of solidifies that, hey, I want to go ahead and order this book now that we have actual artwork on it. Then that would be a situation maybe where you want to order on Monday. But I always tell people, just try to get your orders in on Sunday so that you don't have any issues, with missing out on books and things of that nature. These books should be in comic shops around February the 9th, but just be aware that they could get pushed forward or pushed back. Each contender is going to get a total of 5 picks. That's 1 pick per round. Each title can only be selected once. So if somebody takes the cover A, you can't come back later and take the ratio for the same book. Each contender has 30 seconds to pick. If you don't get your pick in before that 30 seconds, the next guy doesn't have to be a gentleman. He can jump right ahead of you and make a selection for himself. Let's see here. The draft order will be determined by a random wheel. Now, before we get to selecting to see who's going to pick first, Yee, did you have enough time to come up with a wild card rule?
Yeah, so let's get some audience participation in this, and then have the audience, like whoever gets the wild card, the audience member gets to pick the book that they steal from either like what's left on the list or through whatever's been drawn by either or contestant.
Okay, so they can take something off the list, or they can make us swap books.
Yeah.
Okay. So
does that work?
Yeah, that's kind of that works. That's kind of like the people's choice that I normally do.
Oh, okay.
So we'll call it the modified people's choice. We'll do that. We'll call it the modified people's choice. And I don't have a snazzy graphic for that, but I do have this little pop-up. So the wild card rule is a modified people's choice. All right, great thinking there, Yee. Let me go ahead and show my screen off.
And the audience better pick a good book for whoever gets the wild card.
Well, let's see. Let's bring us one step closer to seeing who's going to get the wild card today. All right. Boom!
Oh, look at that rigged wheel already.
Let's check those settings. Don't start, man. You see,
let's check those settings.
You acted like Mel today. You acted like Mel today. Everything got to be rigged. All right, let's see who gets the wild card. No, see, now that's rigged. That's rigged. The man who invented the wild card gets the wild card. That's rigged, brother. That's rigged. All right, so we'll have me first, Yee picking second, and Dart picking last, but getting those double back-to-back picks. Let me see here. Let me go in and fix the draft order real quick. Aaron, did you go to Did you go out to any comic shops today?
I actually did. So I worked from home today because I had a training session that I was just sitting in a Zoom meeting anyways. So I just sat at home, and then during our lunch break, I was like, all right, I want to pick up some comics. So I mean, I have some normal stuff I put in my pool, like Ice Cream Man, of course. Department of Truth was definitely in there. House of Slaughter, I'm still reading. I guess I picked up Marauders because I've been reading that anyways. The annual Teen Titans Academy I picked up, but I'm behind on reading that. And then what else I picked? Oh, so some spec books. I picked up a few copies of the Saga 55 because that dropped today.
Okay, that's a good pickup.
Yeah, and then I did pick up. I know I pre-ordered the Something Is Killing His Children David Mack covers. From somewhere else, like a bunch of them because they were cheap. But I went ahead and picked up a set because I was like, "Oh, they have it in person."
How many did you order on that?
I think I pre-ordered like 3 or 4.
I need to pick one up. I should have got that pre-FOC. Those covers look really good, and I'm wondering how ordered is that set gonna be? I don't think it's gonna be that highly ordered. Because you got to spend $40 for the pack, so.
But if you think about it, we already know the keys of the book, right? So, like, obviously 1's going to be hot. 5 is going to be hot as well. I mean, 6 is going to be a big one. So I think that second set's going to be under-ordered, if you really think about it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All right. And let's see here. There's something else that I wanted to. Oh, and I do want to give a huge shout out to Bad Boy Nerd. Of course, Bad Boy isn't on the show this week. I'm not sure if he's going to be with us going forward, but I still left his logo in the intro because Bad Boy is and always will be Cover Picks family. He's one of the original that started this with me and Dark Evolution Comics. So huge shout out to Bad Boy. His schedule just wasn't working with the show right now, but we hope to have him back on in the future. All right, so pick 1 is on me, of course, and of course everybody's gonna say that's a conspiracy. Aaron, do you want to show? Share your screen, Aaron? And
let me share my screen. Sorry about that. I guess
you good?
There we go.
Okay. So pick one is on me, and man, honestly, I do not know 100% where I want to go. So I'm gonna just stay with my comfort zone, and I'm gonna go with what if Miles Morales as my number one
You
pick.
suck.
Um,
You suck.
and come on, I know that's low hanging fruit, and that's
No,
like
it's not.
such
It's not. It's
such
not.
a me thing to do to go with the Miles book as the number one pick. But I don't know. I just feel like it's so much meat on the bones with Miles books. I just feel like it's so much that they can do with Miles as a character. Um, as far as which cover I'm gonna go with, man, that's a tough decision because a lot of the artwork isn't out right now. But I think if I just had to choose one, I'm gonna go with the 1 in 50 sight unseen. That's the Torrin Clark variant. Torrin Clark is currently doing all of the A covers for the current Miles Morales solo series. So I think from where you could say familiarity breeds contempt. Um, I just feel like with him being so used to doing Miles covers that he's really gonna want to make sure that he doesn't let anybody else outdo him. And then I also saw that the 1 in 200 was a design variant, and in my opinion, design variants like they don't sell good at all. So them putting this as a 1 in 200, man, I do not know, man. I do not know. I thought they would have went with a better cover for that, but yeah, that's definitely gonna be my pick today. What if Miles Morales is number one? Is where I'm going with this today. All right. So up next is gonna be Yeezy Yee with the number two pick.
All right, so I'm gonna steal. I think it was Dark Evolution's pick, but Killer Affairs of State. What is it? The B cover. I think it's a John Boy Myers cover.
It is.
So let me go ahead and I guess highlight it. This is the cover A. It's an indie book, and I think it has a lot of good spec potential to it. From reading the description, it's connected with what someone that was a like a Hollywood producer or something like that. Is that what it is?
Yep.
And so I think it's a shoe in to like with all these different like Hollywood types that are going into comics, right? To draw out their storyboards to already like lay out the foundation for merchandising, right? And then eventually, like whenever it does get picked up and produced, and people are gonna come back and be like, "What was the first thing that came out?" And it's like, "Oh, this comic came out first." So
Yeah, that's true. And there goes
I think
that.
this already has a Netflix affiliation to it.
yeah, I didn't understand exactly what I guess it was like one of the writers is connected with Netflix
Perhaps,
somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is
So
the cover. This is the cover. This is the
Cover-
cover. The John Boy cover for that.
yeah,
For that Killer State of Affairs. So dang,
yeah,
we out the gate with two number ones already. Two number ones are off the board. Got a Marvel and the indie spec book. So Dark, I did want to ask you, what made you put this book on the list? Because you're the one that nominated it onto the list. What made you nominate it onto the list?
I'm a big fan of dark comics, so obviously it looks like it's gonna have a dark undertone to it. It looks like it has some mystery elements to it, not unlike James Bond or Mission Impossible sort of stuff to it. So that being them already being tied to the writer being tied to Netflix gives me the impression that they may, since they're already attached to Netflix in one way or another, they may pitch this and just say, hey, I also have this other project over here, and we're just starting it up. But if you want to get in on the ground floor, we'll, maybe we'll do a deal with you or something like that. So I think once these writers get the foot in the door with a certain production company or a certain platform, they're more likely to, start wedging in some of their other stuff too.
All right, that definitely makes a lot of sense. It'll be interesting to see what happens with this indie book because, truth be told, man, I feel like since Something is Killing the Children, we haven't had an indie book that's really just like really popped off and stayed solid. Of course, Stray Dogs was like really hot last summer, but if you
Yeah.
kind of look at where those prices on those books are now, they have really cooled down. Whereas with the Something That's Killing the Children books, they have cooled down. But certain books I feel like just have a floor on them. Whereas you really don't see that with the Stray Dogs books. Stray Dogs books that was going for 300 and the 9.8 is down to like a hundred bucks now, and that could just be due to the market being flooded, and it's gonna take some time for people to go through and buy up all those excess copies off of eBay and other secondary markets. But I don't know, man. I feel like just even like story wise, there really hasn't been outside of Stray Dogs and Something That's Killing the Children. I haven't really just read a story that's been like, oh wow, this is captivating. I can see this doing great on TV and really having a cult following. But now that Saga is back, maybe Saga will jump back into the ring and be one of those darlings again, one of those indie darlings again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's always a big gamble with indie spec, right? So,
Yep.
but if you pick those right horses, like they launch off like crazy.
Yep.
You're definitely right about that. All right, so Dark Evolution, you are up with the third pick. What's
Cool.
the play for you, brother?
Yeah, I'm gonna go back towards since you already stole my Marvel spec on on Miles, because I think with What If, just before I make my pick, with What If, that hit pretty well, and I think they're gonna be bringing back more What If, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Miles Morales maybe getting adopted into that Captain America role on the screen. Maybe not as a movie, but at least on the Disney Plus series. So that was a smart pick, good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if that's the first time we see Miles Morales in the MCU? Because what if is canon? So
Right.
Yeah,
that could be their way of introducing Miles into the MCU without doing a whole rollout and movie, because it's
yeah,
kind of like, all right, he's here. This may not be the 616 or the Ultimate Universe turned 616 version of Miles, but it's a Miles Morales nonetheless.
yeah,
So his existence is acknowledged at that point, and then whenever they bring him in down the line, it's like it's. I mean, not that you really
It's
need to build a following for Miles, but acknowledging that he's a part of the MCU will be a huge step. And man, his books are just freaking skyrocket off of that. Every single book I think was probably go double what it's going for right now.
Well, I
easily.
mean, they did kind of mention him. I mean,
Oh yeah.
Glover
Look,
mentioned him briefly. Like my nephew's in, my nephew Miles is in the city. So, like, I mean, that's as much as they've touched on him, though.
yeah. Well, and then what's his face making that Jamie Foxx making the joke on No Way Home?
Yeah,
To-
about
to-
the Black
about-
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
Yeah.
and then also wanted to add real quick, don't sleep on that Miles Morales 23, where is that anniversary cover where you have Miles with the shield. I mean, I know it's not part of the story or anything like that.
Yeah.
But like total cover play, but still, like that's the first time we see that cover. Like, or
that's true.
yeah,
That is true. Yep.
Yeah, and
All right.
I went through my back issue bins the other day just because I have almost pretty much every Miles run, like every issue, and I was pretty sure I had that book, and I did, but it wasn't as high grade as I would want. So now I'm trying to find a high grade version of that book, because even if the what's inside the book doesn't have anything to do with the actual thing that people are speaking on, like Miles Morales, Captain America. It, to me, it don't matter because they just gonna want those covers. Like his second solo series, no, his third solo series, issue 2, he's holding the shield up, and then of course on his current solo series, it's the variant, where he has on like a Captain America style spider suit with with the shield or whatever. So I think both of those books are gonna pop once everybody gets this what if in their hands. So, and sorry to go jump back on that book so much, but we just had to close that off. But go ahead, Dark. What's your selection, bro?
I'm gonna go with Strange #1. And I'm gonna go with, you know what? I'm just gonna go with the main cover on this one. Most of the covers aren't showing right now. There's a pretty cool 1 in 100, but I think I want the #1 on this one, or the cover A on this #1.
Nice pick.
Yeah, nice pick. Man, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't think that this book was gonna be that big of a deal, but just kind of looking at all of the variants they have for it, this is the 1 in 100, the hidden gem, but just kind of looking at all of the variants and stuff that they have for it, man, it looks like this thing is going to be pretty highly ordered, and I don't know if there's new character speculation or if it's just like, oh, this is the first solo series as Clea as Doctor Strange. So, or I guess just Strange, whatever whatever they gonna call her. But it'll be interesting to see how this plays out.
She's gotta get her doctorates before she can be a doctor.
Right.
Well, and the writer on it is the same writer from Death of Doctor Strange, which I've really enjoyed a ton. It's been written really well, so I think it's going to be a pretty good series, regardless.
Nice.
Yeah, and at Death of Doctor Strange, there's been a lot of stuff happening that's kind of overarching into the Marvel Universe. Period. Like in that White Fox tie-in, Swordmaster, his sword is broken in there. White Fox ends up taking a piece of it, but I guess that's kind of how Swordmaster ends up becoming Iron Fist. And then, of course, you had the first appearance of Lyra Bloodstone in Death of Doctor Strange, Bloodstone. So they've been tying some stuff in and into the story, which always makes me a little bit more curious to kind of make sure I read, and get through all of the different tie-ins with that series. Also, Darkhold, I feel like people are sleeping on that. I know sometimes it can, it can be a bit of a task to read every comic book that comes out, but I feel like it's gems hidden within these books, which kind of leads me to a segue with the presentation I did on Drunken Chat last week about the Marvels, kind of touching on the Marvels Voices books. And I've been a big advocate of those books, saying that, hey, people need to read these books because Marvel is putting a lot of money into these books because they're a bunch of different stories combined into one book. And then they're thick books, and they have most of them have 5 or 6 covers every time one of those Marvel's Voices books release, whether it's, Pride or Community, all the different iterations of it that they have. And that's why I kind of came up with my for my spec for Eva, who is Reptile's cousin. But I did a presentation on that for a show that I'm going to have coming up called B-Sides. And I'm going to do the full presentation here on my YouTube channel, more than likely tomorrow, and then going on weekly. I'll have the show on a regular schedule, and that'll kind of be like more of my quote unquote speculation show. But honestly, it's just going to be me going through a bunch of covers that I like and telling you if there's any speculation behind it. But just touching on, pretty much just trying to touch on stuff that other people aren't really talking about too much. But I am going to hit y'all with a quick commercial for the trailer for the show. Just give me 1 second. All right, so yeah, get some different intro music for that. But just
That's
wanted to
dope,
hit y'all
dude.
with a quick taste and show out the logo. The logo, of course, is by Mr. Eric Hurd. Uh, man, it's a lot of good people in this community, but E Hurd is up there on my list of people in this community that I just absolutely love. Man, he's a funny guy. He's very helpful, and
And
God,
he ain't no rookie anymore.
yeah, he ain't no rookie no more. He was the rookie of the year for when I first came in. He was the rookie of the year no more. And I always ask him, I say, man, you got any books you looking for? So I can try to help him find books he needs. But really, my ulterior motives behind doing that is so I can see what he's specking on, because his spec is always so good, but he doesn't do any content talking about what he's specking on or anything like that. He's kind of more of a behind the scenes guy. So I'm like, damn, if I can find a book he wants, and in the meantime, I get to kind of get an idea of what he's specking on, that gives me an idea of what, to speculate on. So big shout out to E. Hurd. Man, he's done so many things for this channel. The cover picks logo, the traditional one that y'all see up in the corner, he did that. He did my Knife Wonder logo. So, like I said, huge shout out to E. Hurd. So moving on, it is Dark. Since you had that last pick, it's still on you, brother. You got back to back picks. So you got one more. You got one more in the clip, brother. Where you going with?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go back to my list of ones I brought in, and I want some darkness in here. So I'm gonna go back to Department of Truth number 16.
Ooh, nice pick.
And if I just had to guess, I would say you are not gonna go with the cover A. I got a feeling you're gonna switch it up and go with a different cover on this one.
Yeah, the cover A's have been okay along the run. I think they've been pretty dope, but the other covers for this book have been insane, and it shows you by every book that they come out with, they have at least 10 covers for it, but there's been some ridiculous art for it. But I'm going to go with cover B, and I have that if you want it. But guys, if you're out there, there's some really sick store exclusives for this one. Black Cape Comics has a pretty dope one. Comic Grail Vault exclusive is pretty dope, and then there's really super cool one, Heatseeker Comics, which I hadn't heard of before, but they have a super awesome cover as well. But it looks like they're getting a new writing team for at least a short arc on this, and it looks like it's going to be kind of a different. They're taking it in a slightly different direction from the Tynion writing crew, so it'll be cool to see something different on here and see which way they can take it.
Yeah, I forgot who I was talking to, but somebody was saying that the story kind of hit hit a wall, and that it was just kind of seemed like the same thing, issue after issue after issue, and that they needed to switch it up somehow. And I guess maybe James kind of felt that coming on. So I think he put Allison Sampson as the new writer on Department of Truth. So it'll definitely be interesting to see what she comes up with. And honestly, I think this is one of those series where it's best to kind of have James, kind of looking over everything and then letting different people come in and write, because in my mind, conspiracy theories work differently, and in everybody's point of view. I might look at a conspiracy as one thing, you might look at it as a completely different way. So getting conspiracy theory stories from different writers, I think would be a great way to keep this series fresh. And just as in a broader view of things, my view is that a Department of Truth show on HBO or Showtime would be something more like True Detective, where it's an anthology. You don't have necessarily the same characters every season. You focusing more on the story, but then you can always tie central characters back in, like Agent Cole Turner. He might be a main focus of season 1, but then maybe we just see him a couple of times in season 2, and it focuses more so on somebody else, or different, or a different story. So it's so many different ways that they could do a Department of Truth, TV show. They could make it like what was that show that came on when I was younger? Unsolved Mysteries. They could do it. They could make it something like that, to where it's just like a different story. It's just a different story every time, and they can kind of touch back into things that we saw in the book. They can do the presentation like that, kayfabe it like, hey, we reporting on something that happened in real life, but the characters that they use for these stories are just people, from the book. So it's a lot that they could do with this series, as far as getting it to TV. So it'll be very interesting to see how they do with bringing different writers on to kind of extend the story out. But this is the cover that you were wanting to draft. Beautiful cover, man. I'm definitely pre-ordering this cover. Can't go wrong with this one, man. It's like a psychedelic trip. I know somebody, was it Hive that did a store exclusive where they had the lady in the red dress putting a tab on her tongue?
No, that's like, is a shared exclusive with them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so it was Hive and somebody else.
Yep.
Yeah, we gotta. Yeah, I gotta find that and pull it up, because that was a dope cover. And why? Speaking of store exclusives,
what I think would be a cool way for them to go with that story, to do it on TV, would be sort of like American Horror Story, how they did that. Like,
oh yeah,
every season is its own conspiracy, but eventually they all sort of tie in. They could use the same actors playing different things if they really wanted to, or they could just make it each season be its own thing and have the main two characters be played out throughout the whole thing. And I think that would be an interesting take on that.
Yeah, that's a great take. And speaking of store exclusive, Aaron, can you pull up the Bird City website? I know they just had some exclusives drop
here you go,
recently here. Oh yeah, that Hive cover.
Go.
Yeah, man, that thing is sick, dude. That thing is sick. I love that cover. Y'all know I do not mark out for store exclusives like that. Y'all know I don't do that. Y'all know I don't do that, man. I don't do that. I do not mark out for store exclusives, but I like this one a lot. It's just, whenever you can take a store exclusive and bring something new, bring something different, man, I'm gonna throw my money at you all day, every day.
Yep.
All right, and then here's the Bird City website.
And Bird City has had a bunch of exclusives drop recently. It just, man, if y'all not if you haven't bought anything from Bird City, I would highly recommend doing it. I think when you first sign up for an account with them, and you give them your phone number, they give you 10% off, which goes a long way on this site. And what I would recommend doing is like stacking a bunch of their variants. Like, they do like a lot of bundles where it's like buy 2 covers and they give you $5 off of what it would cost to buy them separate. And then you take the 10% off, and that's pretty much going to cover, like your shipping and taxes. You can get some really good deals with them right now. Aaron, do you have any particular covers on Bird City right now that you've been looking at, that you've been thinking about buying, or that you bought recently?
The one I bought recently was it was actually the Department of Truth 16. This one, where it's a what is it? It's a homage to Fight Club. Tamara Zinger, like when she's smoking a cigarette, that famous picture.
Yeah. Did they sell out of that? Because I know when I bought mine, it wasn't.
No, it hasn't sold out yet, which is kind of surprising. And it looks like
I bet they don't have that many left.
Yeah, it looks like they only have 19 left in stock right now currently.
Yeah, so they getting low on that one. What about the bubblegum cover?
That's a pretty cool cover as well. And you can see here that each one is like $19 a piece, but you can buy a set together for $35. So right off the bat, you can save $5 or whatever,
and then you get the 10% off.
Yeah, for putting in your phone number. So yeah. So I definitely like supporting them. I've known them for quite a bit of time now at this point. And yeah, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't have found Flipside if because I followed them on Facebook when they were doing live sales, and then they announced, "Hey, we're gonna do the Hot 10 on Flipside," and I was like, "Okay, cool, I'll check that out." And then I had already been reading, comic book invest articles and stuff like that, so I was like, kind of like, "Oh, there's a show for this," and then Mighty Mel V was on the show, and then he's like, we have the after show after this, and then started watching, and then he opened the doors for anyone to jump on, and then that's my story of podcasting.
Sure. And that, it not only I like to show off. I try to talk about Bird City on the show because I like supporting people that help support me. And I approached Laura from Bird City and asked her if she wanted to do a crossover show, with her, Lucy, aka Mama Comic, and Jen, aka Comic Aficionado. And she was very supportive on doing that. So we're gonna try to get something planned with Comic Book Women, aka Nirvana crew, and then the Cover Picks crew. So me, Paul, and then Aaron will probably fill in since he's kind of like a mutual link between them and us outside of that. So look forward to working with them in the future. But I ordered a bunch of stuff off of Bird City, y'all. I haven't got my package yet because a lot of it is pre-orders for stuff that's gonna come out, like Supermassive, these DOT covers. Oh, and those Department of Truth exclusives, those are the last ones that Image are gonna let anyone do. Period. So after those, it's not gonna be any more store exclusives for Department of Truth. So I would definitely pick those up, guys, because look, I was a guy that was like really critical of store exclusives, and not everyone, because there's been different stores that's done store exclusives that I've liked and that I've bought, but in my opinion, a lot of stores don't put that much thought and quality in their store exclusives, and that just kind of rubs me the wrong way. But whenever I see a retailer doing it the right way and they're putting out dope covers, I definitely want to give them a shout out. So Hive, Wanted Comics, who else? Bird City. So any retailers that's out there doing it the right way and dropping heat, we gotta give them their props. All right, so moving on, Dark. What you just took? Department of Truth. All right, let me get that off the board. And then what's the next? All right, so Yeezy is back on you.
All right,
what you gonna do, brother? With your second pick?
My second pick, I'm gonna go with Spider-Woman number 20, the Momoko cover, which is the B cover.
I knew you were gonna do that.
Yeah, I mean, it was just like, I'm a big Momoko fan, of course, but some of her covers have gotten a bit stale, but this one like just spoke to me differently, like where it was just like kind of like it's like kind of her play on the negative variants, right? And just something about it was like very eye-catching, and then I was like kind of like, all right, like I'm in on this. Jessica Drew books, they can either like really hit or just kind of be stale, but Sony's still like expanding their universe of all the different spider characters, so it wouldn't surprise me to see them finish up that project with Amazon, if that's ever going to happen, or the Silk project that they're working on. So
yeah, there goes the Momoko negative space variant for Spider-Woman 20. And that is a beautiful cover, bro. I'm gonna order probably about 5 of these, I would say. That's a beautiful cover, man. I imagine stores are gonna order a lot of these, but dang, man, it's such a good looking cover, man.
Yeah, I think I was way more impressed by this than the that Silver Surfer one.
Yeah, but a lot of people like that Silver Surfer, man. A lot of people like it.
I like the Defenders one a little bit more. Yeah.
I don't know about that Silver Surfer. I've seen people raving about it, and I was like, okay. I don't know.
Yeah, it is where it didn't like hit anything special, right?
No,
but,
not at all.
Yeah, but I enjoyed this one a lot more. And it's like different. It's like way different than her trading card variants and all that. So, I like the direction she's going with this.
Yeah, she definitely killed it on that one. Great pick. All right. So it's back on me. Let me show y'all how to pick a book for real.
All right.
Show y'all how to really. Oh man, so many good options this week. I think I'm gonna take a risk and I'm gonna go with the new champion of Shazam, #1.
That is a risk.
And I believe I'm probably just gonna go with the cover A on this one, because I don't think there was any variant artwork out. Let me just double check and make sure. I know last time I checked there wasn't, even though I'm a big fan of DC's
covers.
cover Bs. Yeah, I'm a big fan of DC cover Bs. But I was like, this cover A looks pretty good.
I mean, you gotta like their card stock, right? For that.
Yeah, that card stock is freaking awesome, man.
Yeah.
But the spec on this one is that obviously there's gonna be a new Shazam. I mean, the cover pretty much says it all. And while DC spec obviously is down right now because people just can't trust the decisions that Warner has been making as far as their properties go, I expect that to turn around because I just been watching different DC shows. Like I'm watching Superman and Lois right now, and man, it's such an awesome show. Like it is a really good show, and I'm like, man, I know DC has to have more of these, in the bag, man. They got to have more of these in the bag. So I'm just hoping that people start to realize that, hey, DC is actually making some pretty good shows and start to give DC more credit. Peacemaker is going over really well. A lot of people are liking that. And then just as far as like the art and the direction that DC is going with their comics, I feel like they're starting to hit their stride, especially in terms of art. DC's been doing a really good job as far as their art is concerned. Like I'm gonna go breeze through a couple of covers. This is a Tedesco open order card stock cover from Action Comics 1048 or something like that, I think, or 1040 Action Comics. This is a Black History Month variant. Their Black History Month variants are pretty much on par with what Marvel is doing with theirs this year. Both companies are gonna have some bangers for Black History Month. This is the Aquaman #1 Black History Month variant. This is a Deathstroke 1-25, Deathstroke Inc. #6 1-25.
Wait, can you go back to the previous cover real quick? Did they decide to put Steve Harvey on the cover?
Right. When I looked at it, I was like, I had to look at it because I was like, did somebody Photoshop Steve Harvey face on this? But when we actually get closer and look at it, you can kind of tell it's not.
Yeah, I was just joking around.
Too much Steve Harvey. Yeah, but from when I first saw it, I was like, what the hell? I thought I was being catfished at first. I was like, what's going on here? But speaking of Black History Month, I do want to let y'all know about this book right here. Iron Man 17 was on FOC this past Monday, but Marvel didn't have any artwork out for it. I ended up drafting in this book sight unseen just because I felt like the artist who's doing the Black History Month covers for Marvel this month, Sway, is an amazing artist, and he does a lot of great work. So I was just like, I know this book is probably going to be fire. So let me just kind of take, a leap of faith and order this book. I ordered about 10 copies of this, and I actually DM'd Sway on Instagram to ask him who was going to be on the cover of, the Iron Man number 17 and the Captain America and Iron Man #4. And he said that Iron Man, the cover would be Riri, and the Captain America and Iron Man cover is going to be Sam Wilson. Now, they've released the artwork for the Captain America, but they haven't released the artwork for the Sam Wilson cover yet. But the Riri is looking pretty darn good so far. I love the trade dress that they use for this book already, and then just the artwork this is itself is fire. And then one thing I like about this is Sway got the head to armor ratio correct. If you go back and look at a lot of reread covers, they it either looks like her head couldn't fit in the armor, or they make her head way bigger than what there's almost like a bobblehead. You know, when a lot of artists do it. So huge shout out to Sway for this cover. And one more thing I do want to say about Sway's Black History Month covers is that on a lot of them, he's been using people that he actually knows as like his inspiration to draw these different characters. And if you go to his Instagram, you can kind of see where he's kind of shouting these people out, and it's so dope to see like these real life people being drawn into superheroes. So big shout out to Sway, and thank you for answering my question, which you did pretty promptly, by the way, too. And just super nice guy, and just giving me a heads up on what was to come with some of these Black History Month variants. All right, so moving on, we have who's next?
I think it's back to me.
I didn't pick my book. Hold on, let me put my book in, and then it should be back to you. Oh no, I did pick my book. Oh no, I get double picks because I was first, so this is my time to get double picks. I always forget about that. My next pick is going to be Philadelphia, number 19. If you haven't been reading Philadelphia, it's a great read. If you want to read this and you don't want to go back and buy all the books or buy the trades, this is a great jumping on point. They are kind of like not restarting the story, but they're making a new jumping on point and kind of making it easier for viewers to get in on this. I believe Philadelphia is option, and they already have one comic book spinoff with Nita Hall's Nightmare blog. And man, horror is starting to pick up. Shows with black leads or a lot of black characters in them are starting to get more and more popular. So Philadelphia is a book that honestly, man, you can buy this book really cheap right now. Issue 1. They have a McFarlane variant out there that's hot. They got a Scotty Young variant that's dope, a J. Scott Campbell cover. So they got some good covers in this series. And they have a really good control on how they want to present, their story and the art direction on here. Of course, this is a Jay Lee cover, but I'm going to take the 1-25. This is a series. I don't think I've seen an incentive for Philadelphia thus far. I could be wrong on that, but I don't recall seeing any incentive. So just seeing the incentive on here makes me feel like something big is going to happen in this book. So I'm going to go with the 1-25 on Philadelphia 19 is my first incentive off the board today.
It's weird that cover A versus the incentive, the wolf's tooth is completely jacked up on the other version of that versus the one you just showed. Like if you look at the color version of that same book, it looks all jacked up.
Oh, I gotcha. Oh, didn't Philadelphia, didn't they have that like McFarlane cover that like dropped and then like it caught all the stores by surprise? Was that this run? I think it was like a B cover or something like that.
Yeah, that's the McFarlane cover I was talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, it had like a vampire on the front of it. I'll see if I can pull it up right quick.
I forget what issue number it was, but I know it caught a lot of people off guard and like by surprise, which was kind of shocking because it's a McFarlane, the McFarlane cover.
Yeah, that book,
like,
man.
Image, right?
Yeah, that book. That book goes for like $30 now, man. I was surprised when I saw that, man. But it's McFarlane, and I bought it when I saw it on FOC. I pre-ordered it because I was like, oh, McFarlane on the Philadelphia cover. I'm pretty sure that's gonna be cool. And if I'm being all the way honest, I feel like the cover didn't come out as good as I thought it would be, but it's not a bad cover. It's not a bad cover either. It's just that I thought for McFarlane, I thought it definitely could have been better than what we ended up getting. Give me 1 second. I'm pulling the cover up now.
What's up, Code Red? How's it going? All right, just to give the audience prepared, I'm gonna do my modified people's choice. Not this next pick, but the one after. So start thinking of what they're picking, because
All right, so this is the McFarlane cover for Philadelphia. I believe this was issue 12, Philadelphia issue 12. So that's a dope cover, man. If you can still find these in back issue bins, honestly, if your store ain't wise to the price jump on this book, you can definitely find these for cover price for the most part. All the ones I found were cover price. So pretty dope book.
Who doesn't love those comic shops that still price with Overstreet, right?
Right, man. I love those shops, but honestly, I'm not trying to be. I like it better when comic book shops price by Overstreet because, and some people say, oh, you shouldn't price by Overstreet, but like I go to some comic shops and they will use cover price to price their books, and like I found a copy of West Coast Avengers #1, the newer West Coast Avengers series with Kate Bishop and Gwenpool in America. And I was just like, oh, well, I'll buy this, for the Whatnot crowd because they like that book. And they it was one of them stores they kind of priced some of their books at the register, and they was like $10. I was like, $10, man, this book should be cover price like all day, like $10. Like that's no. I'm not doing that, man. I'm not doing that. $10, no way, bro. Am I paying $10 for that book? Cover price, sure, all day, but $10, no. I just don't understand that mentality. Is just because some sells for a certain price on eBay doesn't necessarily mean that you can sell it. You should sell it for that price in your store, because at $10, those books could sit there for the next 2 years. At cover price, they're more likely be out the door. And on one book, it doesn't seem like that big of a deal. But when you quantify that across your whole inventory, whereas you leave books sitting for years and years on end, that's how shops go out of business or just get into a bad predicament in general, is just by not refusing to let books go out of door at a fair price. Like you can't get market value for everything. That's just the unrealistic expectation, in my opinion, especially on books that aren't big keys or anything of that nature. When you get to want to price up every little variant, any cover that gets a little bit of heat on it, that's just bad business in my personal opinion. But sorry for the rant, y'all. Yeezy, it is finally it's your. Hold on, man, take my book there. It's still showing smart flip. Okay, I got it.
Let's see. I think I'm gonna go with curveball here. I'm gonna go with Scumbag number 13, B.
Nice.
Because it's a homage to Jaws, and if the rumor mill is anything but true, like let's see if it happens. I've heard through the rumor mill that Scumbag is one of those books that might be optioned at some point in time soon. So I think a lot of people have been sleeping on this. Like it had a lot of hype when it first released. Like you have this, you basically have this junkie that's going around doing assassin missions and stuff like that, right? And it's just like so grotesque, the entire thing, right? Like just imagine like the nastiest biker you can think of, and you're following his story perspective the entire time as he does stuff. The series has had a lot of great covers, like with all the different homage picks they've done. And so for this one, the Jaws one, which I thought was kind of funny, and I'm sure like a lot of people will will eventually like want to pick it up and stuff like that.
Yeah, man, yeah. I skipped right past this book when it was when I was looking through books that was on FOC this week. But then when you sent me your picks, I was like, hold on, that is a dope cover, man. Like, and if you read this book, even just the first issue, man, you'll get why this cover is so dope and funny at the same time, man. So
exactly,
yeah, I'm definitely pre-ordering. I'm definitely pre-ordering on this cover. I'll show it one more time. But that was a good pick by Yu Yi, and I love homages, man. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a junkie for homages, especially when you do a flip on it and make something serious funny, or make something funny serious, or So yeah,
Exactly. Like
I like this pick.
yeah, if they do the homage tastefully, and it's just not like straight up a trace, right? And then and they put their own twist to it. Like that's why I immediately thought when I saw this. So I was like, kind of like, all right.
I could see Scumbag on FX. I think that would be a good show for FX.
FX or HBO Max, maybe even Amazon.
Yeah, or Amazon. But like FX at that 9 o'clock spot, man, I could see it doing really good right there. Really good right there. Because they can use the profanity, the violence, they can have all of that in there. And I feel like this is the type of thing that definitely would appeal to that FX crowd and the type of shows that they like on FX. So great pick right there. Let's see. I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe next up is Dark Evolution Comics.
Yep, it would be my turn, but I believe Yeezy said he was going to let that be people's choice, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, for my next one.
Oh, for your next one. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So you're gonna use the wild card on yourself?
Oh wait, or am I supposed to use it on someone?
You can use it on yourself if you want to, or you can use it on me or Paul, however you want to do it.
Yeah, I'll let them use it on myself for the next one. So I'll let the audience pick my next book.
Sweet.
I wouldn't trust him with my damn pick. I'll tell you that much.
You know what? He's doing it late enough that they only have so much room to pooch
to screw him over anyway.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna go with Step by Bloody Step, number 1.
Ooh, that's a good pick. I was looking at that. And who put this book on the list? Step by Bloody Step.
You did.
I did. Oh yeah. That's why I was looking at it. Okay.
You're like, I forgot my last pick. Or next last.
Oh yeah. God damn it, this book is gonna be good. This book is gonna be good. But what made you pick this book, Dark?
Again, it's Image coming back with some. Image is a big comic book company, right? But it's not DC, it's not Marvel, but they sometimes get overlooked for some of these books that are coming out, and they're putting out some really, really good books that I don't think get talked about enough. And when I start seeing Image putting out 5-6 different covers for a book, I start paying more attention, because they're not going to do that if they don't think the book is going to take off, or it's not going to last long, or they don't have some kind of idea that they're going to be able to maybe spin this into a series down the line. So I like the idea. It's another dark future where shit's hitting the fan, obviously, but little girls being protected by a big armored giant kind of reminds me of BioShock back in the day. Love that video game. And so it gives me those vibes that it's an easy storyline to tell, and you have somebody that shouldn't be able to protect themselves, needing protection, and they can easily turn those stories into the person is actually stronger than you think they are, sort of thing. So I think this book could have some legs, and it looks like a cool book. I think it'll be a pretty damn good series.
Yeah, I agree, bro. I definitely, when I was looking at it on FOC, I was like, man, the first, to me, a big thing about a comic book is the title, Step by Bloody Step. Like, that just caught my attention. And then I saw the cover B before I saw the cover A. And I actually like the cover B a little bit more, just because you can see the robot or whatever it is that's protecting him. You can see it. You can see it, the scale of it a lot more. So that's what kind of caught my attention by it, because I'm a big believer in kaiju properties, or just anything with with big monsters or or big robots or anything of that nature running around. I'm a big believer in it. So I was just like, yeah, that I was like, that's definitely a book that I can get behind. Hold on, let me see if I can find that cover. Now, were you gonna go with the cover A, or were you?
I'm actually not. I'm not a big fan of cover A, even though I usually do go with cover A's for number ones of a series, and I probably still will pick it up. That cover B is way better, but I'm going to go with cover D, actually, which is a 1 in 10. And I just put that in the private chat for you if you want to see
Yeah,
that.
that cover. Yeah, all right. Oh, dang it, I had it up. Hold on. That cover. That 1 in 10 is nice. That 1 in
It's a
10 is
wraparound.
nice.
Yeah. It's a wraparound, and it's white, which is going to be a pain to get a number or a 9.8 out of. And I think that's a much better cover than cover A, personally.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I'll pull it up.
Does that work?
Cool too, honestly. Yeah.
Is that the right cover?
No, it's the white one right below it, right there. Nope. To the left. Left. Yep, there you go. The wraparound.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that, man. That's a dope cover.
Yep.
Well, see, is that like a robot or is that like a some type of creature inside of armor? Like,
yeah, that's the question.
I'm gonna read the description a little bit and see. Yeah, it's an armor giant. Yeah, an armor giant and a helpless child. They cross an astonishing world brimming with beasts, bandits, and deadliest by far civilizations. I said civilizations. If they stop walking, the earth itself forces them onwards. Why? The child can't ask. She and her guardian have no language, no memory, nothing except each other. So yeah, this is gonna be a good story, man.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a good story. All right. And Dark, I believe you will have back-to-back picks, brother. So.
Oh shit. Okay, so I'm gonna go with an.
I lied. I'm gonna use my. Let the audience pick your pick.
Wow.
That's cool.
That's dirty. That's dirty.
All right, show the audience what they have a choice of.
Yeah, show them the books they have left. So anything that's already been selected or anything that's still remaining on the
let's see. I think
on the draft board.
Saga 56 is still available. Pentagram of Horror is still available.
In his own image.
What else do we have?
Spawn.
Gunslinger Spawn is still available. Fox and Hair.
Yep. And then Follow Me Into Darkness.
Yeah, and which is the the follow up to You Me Into the Darkness, right? Or something like that. Is that what it's called? It's a follow up series of.
It is a follow up series, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot what the exact title is. Oh, You Promised Me Darkness, right?
That sounds right. I'm not 100%, but that sounds right.
Let's see. We'll give the audience a few seconds, I guess.
Come on, guys. Give us a pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all go and get that wild card moving. Ooh, 78 points of articulation, dropping some knowledge. So the 1 in 10 is available on the Behemoth site. I think Behemoth is based out of Dallas. I could be wrong, but I think they're based out of Dallas.
Oh yeah, there you go, Moji.
For You Promised Me Darkness. Come on, guys.
All right, I think he was just correcting us.
Oh.
Oh yeah. All right, correcting me for misspeaking.
Yep.
All right, here's the first one.
Gunslinger.
I'm seeing Gunslinger.
Yep.
And then I guess we'll wait to see if anyone else answers, but if not, we'll probably go with Gunslinger.
That's cool.
Which is not a bad pick either. Like
no, there's not a whole lot of bad picks this week at all. Like you could come up with good reasons for any one of them, honestly.
Yeah, and Gunslinger Spawn like definitely had a cult following for the longest time, and then when McFarlane announced you know, the Spawn universe and everything, like Guns launched off like crazy.
Yep.
Especially like when he dropped those like what was it 306 cover, like where it was just like a hidden cover from Diamond or from previews, and then all of a sudden like, oh, not enough stores ordered any of these.
Yep.
So yeah, and I definitely sold my 174 way too early. I mean, I doubled up of what I paid for it. So I was happy I made money. But like once I saw that 1,000 price tag for a 9.8, I was like kind of like, oh, I sold it too early.
Yeah, that's happened to us all.
Yeah, I almost decided to keep it as well because I'm a big collector of error covers. And it on the cover it has Spawn spelled SPANW.
Oh, nice.
It's just on the side, so it's not really noticeable. But yeah, so that's on every cover. So don't let someone try to upsell you on that. That
error.
It's a rare error because all of them have that error.
They're all rare.
They're all errors.
All right, I'm not seeing anybody else, so we'll just go with Gunslinger.
Alrighty.
Yep, that's cool. So Gunslinger, get that off the board. All right, great pick. Dark, and well, I guess great pick. Audience, because y'all got it.
It was Omar. Thanks, Omar.
Omar, great pick. Let's see here. So, whose pick is it? All right, still on you, Dark, because you get the back-to-back picks.
Oh no, no, that was my.
That was his back-to-back.
Oh, that was. Damn it.
Yeah.
I mean, I messed up.
Yeah.
What was your pick before? Step by buddy step. I forgot to take that one off the board.
Yep, step by buddy step. Yep.
Okay, now it's back on Yeezy.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna go with Pentagram of Horror.
Nice.
I saw this. I was like, okay, it's issue number 1. It's a Black Caravan comic, which is under the house of Scout Comics. When I saw this, I was like, kind of like, okay, this is appealing on way too many levels. Being a heavier musician or whatever, that I was like, okay, anything with a pentagram on it's me. So, but I mean, I love reading horror stories and stuff like that. So I was like, kind of like, all right, let's see what these modern writers can do. And yeah, so I was pretty excited about this.
Yeah, I agree. This is a cool looking book, and Black Caravan isn't getting enough love.
Oh yeah, I mean, Electric Black, like, oh, I think that's an option series at this point. So
yeah, y'all definitely into the scary books more than me. I'm a scary cat, man. I don't do too many scary books.
You gotta
Department of Truth and Philadelphia is about as deep as it gets with me. Man, I think with my next pick, I'm gonna go with Fox and Hare #1. We had this book on the show before, but I guess it got pushed back or something like that. And I think based on just looking at the artwork and reading about the book, I think it's going to be a male and female Asian lead. And I know it's, more of a push for, heroes of Asian descent. A lot of companies trying to build up properties that can translate, to Asia as well. And this kind of reminds me of of Hawk and Dove. Just based on what I've been reading about it. So I think this is going to be a surprise hit. Of course, there's always a chance that I could be wrong, but I do think this is going to be a surprise hit. All right, so our next pick is me again. I forgot about the back-to-backs. For my next pick, I'm going to go with Saga 55. And, of course, one thing I love about Saga is there's no cover A, cover B, the 1 in 25, 1 in 10. You just get the cover A, and that's it. Saga, man, if you, I've been reading Saga pretty much from day one, man, and I was kind of sad when it went on hiatus, and I need to go back and get caught up on the last couple of issues. That way I can jump back in with 55, which actually came out today. But yeah, man, Saga, I just don't think you can go wrong with it. I'm pretty sure, with the story being on hiatus for so long that they're going to introduce new characters and try out new concepts with this story. Being that, I feel like they brought the story back because they probably are close to, or they already know that this is going to be option. So they're probably trying to extend out the lifeline of the story to support a streaming deal or a movie or something of that nature.
Yeah, that's a good pick. Saga, you can't go wrong with.
Yes, sir.
Dang,
All right, man.
You stole my last pick.
All right, so Yeezy, it's on you, brother. What you gonna do?
All right, let's see what's left. Is it? It's Step by Bloody Step, right? That's no, that already got picked.
You've got Follow Me into Darkness or In His Own Image.
I'm gonna go with Follow Me into Darkness. I feel like it's gonna be like one of those books that pops off really hard, like right at the beginning, because it's a follow-up series to something that was already like a movie and everything. You're looking at similar artwork as well. So I feel like it's like one of those books to like pick up right away and then like kind of flip it, unless you're really into this series, right? Yeah. So to me, I think this is just going to be a quick flip. I didn't look at any to see if there's any other covers or anything like that, so I'll just go with the A cover because you can't go wrong with A covers, like, because that's always what's advertised everywhere, and then what people are looking for.
My mom wandered off for a second. Is this connected to You Promised Me Darkness?
Yeah, so this is a follow-up series to that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. That's what I was thinking, but I wasn't 100% sure.
Yeah.
Okay. And so Yee, is it on Yee to finish the draft? No, it's on Dark to finish the draft off.
Yep.
All right. So do you want to choose what you have, or do you want to go to the mystery box?
Yeah, I'm actually going to take In His Own Image #1. This is the book I was actually going to pick when Yeezy pulled the rug out from under me here with the Gunslinger pick, but so it all worked out. This is the book I want. So again, it's another dystopian dark future book, which Hollywood loves the hell out of, and eventually one of these is going to get picked up. But it sounds like a cool series, so it sounds like a good read, even if it doesn't pop off. So maybe I'm only going to get maybe 1 or 2 of these instead of, well, maybe I'd do 2 or 3 of these in case it pops, but I'm not going to do much more than that because who knows what the spec is. You do so many dystopian future books and shows, eventually stuff is not going to get picked up too, but so it's kind of a gamble on this one, but I think it's at least sounds like a cool book to read for sure.
All right, yeah, definitely, man. I think that was a smart move to go with that #1 versus going with the mystery box or anything of that nature. Because honestly, I probably would have screwed you over on the mystery box. So,
well, you always have to go with the mystery box. What's in the box?
Yeah,
what's in the box? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think the mystery box would have been that good this week. Just being honest, because we kind of tapped that list out of all the good books, man. I think we pretty much hit everything on the head. Only thing is that with Marvel not having this artwork, out beforehand, it kind of messes things up because you can't accurately assess, what should be bought and what shouldn't be bought,
Yeah. And I think that's somewhat on purpose too, because I think they're trying to make the secondary market a little crazy on purpose, because then that drives more interest in everything that their books are doing and then their properties are doing for movies and so forth. I mean, it could be just shitty planning, I suppose, but they don't strike me as shitty planners. So I have a feeling like some of this is to drive the secondary market way up to create craze and then create more hype around all their properties.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well, because it if you gotta figure out ways to get people to go out to the LCS, to get people ordering books, online. Because if you just say, oh, we're just gonna release, these stories and we Marvel, so people should want to go out and buy them. I just think that's a bad way of I think that's a bad way of doing business, and I kind of like it, man. I know some retailers might not be happy about it, but I kind of like them, stirring the pot a little bit and creating a little bit more excitement around the books. Me personally, I think it's a fun addition to, um, I think it's a fun addition to the speculation game. And one thing that I've been saying is I feel like Marvel is kind of playing to the speculators, with a lot of the stuff that they're doing. Because if you kind of look at it, even with these first appearances, they're kind of making it like, oh, well, is this the first appearance, or is this next issue the first appearance, and kind of leaving it up in the air. Like, instead of just giving a full on, hands down, no doubt about it, hey, this is the first appearance, they're kind of playing with it now and making it to where you got to kind of buy both issues. Maybe that first one when that character shows up, and the second one, and then the cover appearance. They just did it with Strange Academy. They had the cameo, quote unquote cameo, though I don't believe in cameos. They had the first time that Gaslamp was in there. Then they had the next time he was in there a little bit more, and then they used him for a cover appearance. Like, they stretched that out, and they played that very, very smart. In my opinion, they played that very smart. So we playing the game. Marvel said, "Damn it, I'm gonna play a game too with y'all."
And then here's a second print cover of that same book that that people bought the most of.
And here go the thing about the second prints. Now the second prints are starting to pop. You got to really think about it. Do I want to buy these second prints or do I not? Because if nobody else orders them, and it ends up being a rare book, they really playing the game with us. Now before we sign off, did you fellas have anything y'all need to touch on? Any sales, whatnot sales, or anything going on that y'all want to promote?
Yeah, I want to answer Jamie's question real quick.
Okay. Wait.
So if you can't order Scout Comics through your LCS because they don't have a Lunar account, I mean, they should be able to pre-order it through, Diamond or Lunar, so either or. But if those aren't options for you, you can also pick them up from the website itself, so directly from the publisher. So a lot of times, like, if people skip out on stuff, like, that's a good way to pick up some of their books. Yeah. Like, still at cover price as well too, and then even some of the older stuff. Just a tip.
Yep. Thanks for catching that, because I did not catch that, bro. I did not see that. I did not see that in the comment.
Yeah, no worries.
Now I do want to just throw in here, just to remind everybody. Just keep in mind we do have the giveaway for the Black Panther #3. This is the first appearance of a new character. I believe his name is Tosin, something like that. I haven't had a chance to read it yet. So I'm gonna read this tonight before I go to bed. But I'm gonna be giving this away. All you have to do is leave a comment down below in the chat to get one entry, and then if you commented while the video was live, you'll get 2 entries onto the wheel. And at the beginning of the show next week, we'll spin to see who wins this copy of Black Panther 3. Last time I checked, this book was going for like $20-25 online, so not a bad giveaway, and what could end up being a future key, because some people are speculating that the character that debuted in this book today is going to be the son of Storm and Black Panther. I don't know how true that is, but that's what the streets are saying. I don't know.
Hey, do you have a list of the people that are watching live already?
Yeah, I do.
Hey, throw up a wheel right now, and I'll give away a book right now.
Okay.
Away a Saga 55. Yeah,
okay.
I picked up a few extra copies, so I'll give it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me just make sure I got everybody in here.
You know, people have been waiting 2.5 years for this book to start back up, and it's here. So if you passed it up, like, I wouldn't sleep on it. Like that book has a cult following, and have you seen like prices on some of the early issues? Or even look at like the foreign editions, right? Of the RRP that came out.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we got Joshua G. And okay, I think I got everybody. Let me get this Russian. Let me kick this Russian bot out.
And then if you do win, just hit me up on IG, and I'll ship out the book to you. Or
Thank you.
Or if you purchase the book from me on Whatnot, I'll just throw it in there as well. So either or works. I'll probably do some sort of comic show this weekend. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I don't know if I like sleep more. I don't know if I like sleep more or money more.
All right. And then Mike.
Code Red, you live in Russia. Well, hopefully it gets there. I know shipping to Russia can be a bit hard now.
All right. And then let me share my screen so we can go ahead and spin this wheel.
All right. Good luck, everyone.
I will never be able to do a wheel intro like Mel. God, look who won! Damn it, Code Red.
I guess I'm shipping out to Russia.
Oh man, let me know how much that is, brother. I'll go half on you with the shipping because I know that's not gonna be cheap.
Is he really from Russia?
I don't know.
I figured he was just joking, but
maybe with the nickname with the name Code Red, but he might be from Russia. Damn it. Oh man. All right, man. I guess that's it. Unless somebody had anything else.
Hey, 78 points. My name was on the list, so if it landed on me, you would have gotten the book.
I thought 78 points was on there.
It's all good. My name. It's all good.
I'll give you 3 entries next week.
Yeah, and then my name was on the list, so if that would have been the case, we would just give it to him.
Yeah.
I can't win my own book that I'm giving away. That doesn't work like that.
But I just be typing names as I see them, man.
But yeah, Code Red, hit me up on IG, and then I'll get you.
All right, man. I'm gonna sign y'all out. I'm gonna go ahead and sign out. Y'all, I will do a couple of Whatnot sales this week. I'm sure Aaron will do some Whatnot sales this week. So be sure to go through and support. Don't forget to follow everybody on Instagram.
Oh yeah, I did meet you in Baltimore. I forgot about that code. My bad. Russia.
Yeah, don't forget to follow everybody on Instagram. Man, chat is always so loud. Make sure chat not saying nothing else we need to highlight. Code Red is in Baltimore. Yeah, okay, that's what's up. All right, man. We'll see y'all next week. Don't forget, we're giving away the Black Panther number 3 at the top of the show next week, and we'll just keep those giveaways rolling. Like that. We'll start doing it that way. So now everybody, gets a chance to get a book, and it's not just one-sided. But we out, y'all. See y'all next week. Thank you, Yeezy, for coming through. I appreciate it, brother. It was great having you on. Dark Evolution, thank you for coming through like you always do. I greatly appreciate it. And we see y'all next time. And don't forget, I'm coming back tomorrow with B-sides. So I'm on the intro, I'm gonna just on the outro, I'm gonna just show y'all the B-sides intro one more time. Peace.